I've known him for years and a long time. For those of you who doesn't know him, he is no stranger to Leica. He has been using the M for years. He's also a veteran photojournalist. And in recent years, after the Japan tsunami since March 2011, he has been documenting the tragedy. He has been to Japan for about 8 times now, every 3 months or 6 months or so. Yes, just to document the suffering, and here are some of his stories. So the works you see here are not done within a month or so. It's been the result of his work over the past 2.5 years. So I will welcome Mathias just to say a few words and maybe just to share what you feel and what makes you want to document this. Thank you.
Thank you, Gracia. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming. I see familiar faces and I see new faces. Thank you all for coming once again. And since I see new faces, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Mathias. I'm a photojournalist. I've been shooting for 29 years, and I'm also the Leica instructor for Southeast Asia. And during my career as a photojournalist, Japan is not the only project that I've done. I've covered Afghanistan 2011, September 11. I covered the Iraq War as well, so just to name a few. So Japan is one of my latest projects, which I'm doing at this present time. So since the earthquake in 2011, I went in to cover the event. Obviously, all photo agencies, current newspapers went in, covered the mainstream news. I did that, and my second trip I went back to my agency again. Then I realized there was more to cover, not just mainstream. So I decided to do a project on Japan, on the book. So I've been, like Gracia was saying, I've been back 8 times. Every 3 to 6 months, I go back. I visit different places, basically to cover the progress, the aftermath, the rebuilding. It's just not sad images. A lot of people have asked me, you see a lot of sad things in Japan. How do you feel? Obviously, it's very, I don't feel good, but I still see joy in them. I still see happiness in them. So I was interviewed by a magazine, and someone asked me, the journalist asked me, "Don't you see happy faces there?" I said, "Yes, I do." So she was a bit stunned, and I told her, "It's just your presence that matters." So she was taken by it, because at this point of time, people are, the Japanese people, those who are affected, are slowly being forgotten. So just you being there, you put a smile on their face, and that means a lot to them. And that really touches me in the sense that, I didn't even bring anything. I was there. I'm an intruder, basically. Going in there to take photos with them, and they welcome me with open arms. Okay. So that's one of the reasons why I decided to take on this project and work on a book, because everybody thinks that Japan is okay, everything's running all right, no problems, it's progressing. Yes, they are progressing, but slowly, because of the radiation level. The photos around here are from 6 months and last month. I just came back last month. I came back from Fukushima. Don't worry, I'm safe. Yeah, no radiation in me. If you switch off the light, I might do. No, I'm okay, yeah, I'm okay. Because the reason why I say I'm okay, wherever I went, I carry a Geiger counter with me. And that is my only guide that tells me whether I'm safe or not. Okay. The highest I went was 7.6, which is really high actually. 1.0 microsievert per hour, that's the baseline. So your Geiger counter will start to beat. As you goes higher, it starts to beat faster. So, that was the highest, but I had to protect it here with me. Yeah. So, ultimately, all this work, what you see today, it's not all of it. Eventually it's going to be a book. So next year I'll launch my book on Japan. It'll be a 3-year project. So from 2011 right to 2014. So the book ultimately is covering, showing the devastation, aftermath, the progress, day-to-day life, and obviously the joy of people has changed them. Like I met a teacher. He's not a local. He was from Singapore. That has changed his life as well. He's been teaching English for 10 years in Japan. After tsunami, he went back. He went to the affected area and started teaching kids. And that has changed his life totally. He sees things in a different form. Japan has changed the way I look at things as well. I don't take things for granted. I get to know more about radiation, a better understanding. Like the photo here is in the cow. This farm, the cows are all heavily exposed to radiation, very high level of radiation. So at the moment the cows are they're dying day by day. One thing I learned is in Japan, all the cattle, rice, vegetables, whatever you buy, everything you have to go through a certification. So you're quite safe in it. And so people get a bit paranoid. They want to go to Japan and eat meat or fish, but it's all tested. Yeah. I would just like to share with you this photo as well. Like a corner, children. The reason why I took this picture, this was shot in Fukushima prefecture. Certain places of Fukushima, the radiation level is quite high and it's quite low. So this area where I went, the reading was about 0.8 microsievert per hour, which is more on the high side, on the baseline. But so they don't encourage children to play outdoors. So all the kids, they go indoors and play. So that was one of the reasons I took the picture. This girl, this lady out here, I took this shot of her. The story behind it, she lived in Minami Soma. It's about 15 kilometers from Fukushima Daiichi plant. So when Fukushima Daiichi plant exploded, all the residents evacuated. They went to the mountains, they went to the hills, they stayed there without Geiger counter. They stayed there for 2 months, not knowing that they were exposed to high level of radiation. Only then when they had the Geiger counter, they found their reading was about 300 times higher than the radiation level. So now, Minami Soma is like a ghost town, even in Odaka. Okay, especially in Nami as well. It's a no-go zone. Nobody lives there anymore. When I was there, the houses, people left with their lights on. So even today, you go back, lights on, fans on, everything's on. Lights home, no one's home. Lights on, no one's home. So it's a very, very unusual feeling, you know, and it's nobody wants to go there and document it. So I felt that the story needs to be told because the mainstream media, people tend to forget about them. As I said earlier, you know, just being there, you put a smile on your face. So that really, really enlightens them. So, as I mentioned earlier, the book will be out next year. So look out for it. It's going to be about 260 pages. So it's quite a big book, a thick book. So I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a lot of help here. And now I shall say my thank you to the people behind all this that have helped me to put up this work and make it happen. Obviously, I'd like to thank Leica. Leica has been supporting me since 1998. So that was before I came here. So Leica sponsored my work. So ever since I've been shooting, doing projects, a lot of projects, and been shooting on Leica cameras. So I said all this work here shot on the M system. I don't crop my work, full frame. I don't need weight. So people think I'm crazy because when I was in Iraq, I covered the Iraq war. I was there for 3 months. I used a M camera and 35mm lens. So I move really close in subject. So thanks to Leica once again. I'd like to thank the people in Raffles. Obviously Sylvia, Sky, Jamie. They have always been very helpful. The marketing team, Rachel, Leonard, here, and obviously the MD for Asia Pacific, Sunil. I think Sunil's around, but I think he's hiding. He's a bit shy tonight. I don't know why. Very unusual of him. Yeah, usually he's out there and talking a lot, but today he's a bit shy. And obviously, I'd like to thank all of you for coming, because without you, there wouldn't be a show. So once again, thank you for your support. If you need any help or you have any questions, please feel free to ask. As I mentioned earlier, I run the academy as well, so we do run workshops. But my workshop is hands-on workshop. So I don't do studio shot and theory stuff and bore you to death. I make you work, so I make you sweat. Okay, so thank you once again.